simple, dear. I'll still be here when you're gone. You gather souvenirs, but I will never be your pawn. Your pawn. Your pawn. My love wasn't ever a game. I lay with cards out on the table. There's nothing to gamble away, but I can promise that you'll never be the same. But I can promise that you'll never be the same. You can double down. I'll still be a proud haven for your love is never love. A river through your bluff, I will be enough, enough, enough. My love wasn't ever a game. I lay with cards out on the table. There's nothing to gamble away, but I can promise that you'll never be the same. Something you can never take, but it's not uncommon to forsake. Got a chronic urge to complicate. Think of love like a friend, not an enemy. Feeling I have nothing left to hide. I'll say what you know it when it's right. Keep it simple now, living it before I die. Think of love like a friend, not an enemy. My love wasn't ever a game. I lay with cards out on the table. There's nothing to gamble away, but I can promise that you'll never be the same. But I can promise that you'll never be the same. I came up short today. Feels like I fell 1,000 times. Nothing but doubt to flood my mind. 'Cause sometimes it's hard to remember why I ever started racing with my dreams. A restless December, feeling I was meant for more than I believed. I'll never surrender, rather try and fail and fall 1,000,000 times. I'm where my head has met my heart and they are beautifully aligned. But sometimes it's hard to remember everything I've done that's brought me to this space. I started with embers, now
I just think that the first thing that got me like questioning, because I will fully admit I was a very large Tesla supporter when they started. No question. I was going to buy one. I was going to buy one to the extent that my son got me a Matchbox Tesla car, right?
Right.
So that was back in the day.
And that was before we found out their founder was an
Yes.
insane lunatic.
Yes, and now of course I can't buy one,
Yeah.
right? So, but
Right.
the first thing, well, two things got me. One was the Cybertruck, which made me raise my eyebrow, and I'm like, this is a
Oh my
terrible
God.
idea. Like, what's going on?
Have you seen them? They're all around.
They're ridiculous.
My son like notices them like so because it's like side up, and they're actually, if someone's looking for them, there are
Yep.
a lot, and they are the ugliest thing
Ridiculous looking.
that I've ever seen on the road. Not cool,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
futuristic. It's literally just an abomination
Yeah.
of metal
Yeah, so-
just rolling down the street. It's just like it makes and people will boo and stuff and
Yeah.
give it the finger and everything else.
Well, now it's different. It's hard
and
to
by
tell
people, I
whether
mean
it's
me.
right. It's hard.
But,
It's
yeah.
different now, but that was the one thing that raised eyebrow. The second thing that got me was back when is they were making such huge strides in self-driving. You know what I mean? And then they came out and said, we're going to pull all the LiDAR out of the cars, and it's going to be image recognition only. So for LiDAR, it's basically they have sensors, the lasers that are bouncing off of shit and getting data back. So
Right.
it's like object, and creating 3D maps, right? And then combining that with imagery to be able to steer the car.
Oh, yeah,
and
that's
saying,
why I thought they did it.
This is a person, this is a mailbox, this is a light pole, that's a stop sign. You know what I mean? Like figuring out like all the
Right.
shit. They pulled out the
Well,
light.
also,
They're doing
part of the issues is that it confuses things. It confuses, a person for a lamppost.
Sure.
And so that, or something,
But I mean, that's not too terrible because you're like, don't hit either, right? And you're safe
Right,
there, right?
right.
But now they've gone to a thing of camera only, so it's using machine imagery
Why?
on two-dimensional image. I don't know. I know a fair amount about technology, and I think it was the stupidest decision from engineering ever.
I mean, if they can make it work, I mean, because
I don't think
basically they have to do it to satisfy the underwriters and
Correct.
whoever is going to like actually
A-
bankroll
a-
this,
a
which
dude-
means it has to be
right.
like super signed off on
Correct.
and like 100%.
So some dude
tested and all
some
that.
dude posted a YouTube where he tested it, and he basically they did like a Wile E. Coyote, make a wall in front of, in the road and paint it like it was the road, and it went straight on
right.
through.
Right.
It was paper, but still it went straight on through.
Well, and because,
Heavy
you know
rain,
what?
heavy
There are-
rain where you
there
can't
are
see
a
the
lot of
images,
people-
right through.
There are a lot of people who would just drive straight through that.
Sure, but again,
So,
the point is the car has to do better, right? Much better than a human.
Oh, yeah,
will
no,
to
absolutely.
be accepted. Because who the hell do you sue if the car runs someone over, right?
Well, in America, everybody,
Everyone.
anyone
You can
involved,
sue
anybody,
because
their
we're
parents,
a litigious society.
There's-
Is what we are.
Yeah, we're very litigious. Yes.
Litigious. Thank you, litigious. I pronounced that wrong.
Um,
But we're online.
it's extremely expensive.
We're live,
Hey, everybody.
and we're gonna help people. Don't buy a Tesla.
Yes.
Number one, which is a shame
Yeah.
because they were making the best electric cars in the world, and now they're slowly not, and the
But-
brand is now toxic. Don't buy
But what's
Tesla.
great is that they kind of started that wave, and then it gave a bunch of other companies
created
the
the market.
opportunity, and also the motivation to be like, oh, we're going to do it. So now,
That's
like
right.
Kia and Hyundai and everybody has. So you're not
That's
just
right.
stuck with only a Tesla.
Exactly. Exactly.
So.
But anyway, we're here to help. But we're here to answer people's questions.
Right. And,
So I guess-
we've did 5 you come up on your in your mailbox there?
Yeah, I got them. Interesting choices this
got
week.
'em over to
I
you.
only skimmed them
Hey,
briefly, but
I whatever I don't look at them. I just
know.
push them over to you
there's an old saying that we play the cards we're
to
dealt.
pull up on the screen.
We play the
Right.
cards we're dealt.
Well,
So
we'll see.
let's play our first card. First one comes from Travis from Anaheim, California. Travis says, I am
All right.
70, but I feel 30. Excellent, Travis. I'll
Nice.
probably live till I'm 100 because I have one of those longevity genes. But when I found that out, I just said, oh, great. I'm not depressed. I don't want to die, but I had so much more fun when I was younger. Kid, I love riding my bike. Now it's just exercise, a chore. I loved so many things as a kid, but now everything seems like work. Cooking is like work. Gardening's like work. Exercise is like work. Wondering how to feel some joy. Any ideas, Travis? Questions, Travis.
Hey, hey, Travis, what you have is called depression. You say you're not depressed, but that actually is depression. It happens to all of us as you get older. To a child, there's joy and wonder, all around. But you've had 70 years of lived experience, so
Right.
like
I've
myself
seen it all.
and Vanguard, you understand that really the world is a terrible, awful place filled with terrible, awful people. That most of them can't navigate a fucking cocktail napkin. So you've also realized the point of human existence, which is to perform mindless work until a natural death or a catastrophic industrial accident of some kind. Um, but yeah, honestly, I'm not familiar with this. I am only saying this because I have not personally experienced this emotion.
Called joy.
But
That-
Vanguard is familiar
I
with some
am
of the rarer
teeming
emotions.
with joy. So what I
Yeah.
think, Travis, your problem is you have not realigned your expectations for your new phase of life. So if you're 70, it probably means you retired somewhat recently. When you don't have a job, and this is what a lot of people say. I talk to people who were thinking about retiring, like, oh, I'm going to retire. Talk to them 5 years later, like, I'm miserable. I should have kept working. It's like, it's not about the work necessarily, but it's having purpose. So purpose is what brings joy.
Right.
You can't seek joy. You got to seek purpose, and purpose will give you joy. You know what I mean? So I think you lack purpose is the thing. So I think you need to find those new things now that you're in this new phase of life that interest you, do them, engage in them, commit yourself to them wholly, and you will find joy. That's my take.
Also, you live in Anaheim, California, which is right next to Disneyland, which is the most magical
Yes.
fucking place on earth.
It is
So
magical.
if you can't find some joy there,
On the
you
Rise
know,
of the Resistance ride. Right.
yeah, I mean, just fucking chill out, go on Pirates of the Caribbean, and let the world crumble around you.
Yes.
That's what we're all doing. You might as well,
Yep.
enjoy some music. I mean, I had thought that joy at this point was only for the very young, mentally ill, and people on really really potent drugs. But if you're saying you can experience joy as well, then
There you go.
so can Travis.
Super J has a purpose. Her purpose is to hang out with friends and eat good food. See, that's something that you can do.
Purpose-
Surround
that-
yourself with
and-
people of
and
like
I, and I
mind.
bet you that brings her joy.
Sure.
And right next to Disneyland is also Knott's Berry Farm. I mean, you got
Knott's Berry
you got
Farm.
joyous stuff around you all over the place.
All done that main drag is joy.
Yeah.
Manufactured capitalistic
um,
joy is right down the street from you.
Right. Or the only two things that give me joy, which would be fucking and a really satisfying shit, would be I guess those would be the two things. But that's awesome. If you can get a boat ride, or if having a purpose works
Right.
for you, man, awesome.
Yeah. Well, I would say that fucking and taking a satisfying, defecation is purpose in some ways.
Right. You have a bidet, so
I do
the
have a
whole thing
bidet.
is yeah.
It will.
I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
Travis. Actually, that's one piece of advice. Get a bidet. It will change your
Get a bidet,
life.
Travis.
It will
bring you
change your
joy.
life. You will never be cleaner. It will change your life. It's fantastic. I cannot advocate for it more. But back to the point ahead. I think that is the point. You can't take the now self and put it back 60 years ago, right? That's not you anymore. You know what I
Right.
mean? You got to find those new things that bring you joy. Like why you're thinking that a bike is sure, like ride a bike for fun. Why do you have to do it for? It's a mindset thing. You know what I mean? Like you can ride a bike for fun. Why the
Right.
hell not? Right? I don't know why it's I
Right.
think
Yeah.
that
You don't need to. Riding a bike doesn't mean you're doing it for exercise.
Right.
You can do it for fun.
right.
That's
Tell
where
yourself
you're
you're
not
doing
really,
it however you want to do it.
Yeah, you're just going for a bike ride instead of biking for a exercise routine or whatever. Like I'm going to bike 10 miles. It's like I'm going to bike around.
Right.
Which
Bike around.
as
Bike to the
you probably
store.
did as a kid, where you're like, oh, where the hell am I? And then you find your way out again.
Right. You
So
could even put the baseball card in your spokes and it goes around. You can do that.
yeah, you could.
You're allowed to do that. The world is your oyster. Now you have money to actually follow through on a lot of these things that you can do when you're
Right.
which is great.
And if you've got the longevity gene, great, because it sounds like, so if you're 70
Yeah.
and you feel like you're 30, that's awesome. Like that's rare.
Mhm.
So you already have the material that you need to do the things that can bring you joy,
Right.
because you're not like, because for a lot of people, health is the main
Yes.
factor where they, they're either
And you have that.
stuck in one place, but
Right.
you
You
if you
have the
feel like you're
health.
30 and you can go skydiving, fucking go skydiving.
Go
man.
skydiving. Do your bucket list.
You know,
Whatever the hell you want.
make a bucket list.
Don't like to. You're saying
You know.
cooking is like work. Don't cook. Go out to eat.
Or
Who
Right.
cares? Do what you want.
or
Literally do what makes you
know-
happy. Pick up a new hobby.
I mean, life is basically work until you die. So, everyone has to earn their rest.
The sweet release of.
So, which only comes with the sweet
No,
release of death. We all know.
I maintain there is a world of infinite possibilities out there, and that you could pick up anything you wanted. You could pick up a new hobby. You could go travel somewhere. You could go see something, do something, pick something and do it. See if you like it. If you do, keep doing it. If you don't, screw it and do something else. Like, those are things. But having that purpose of pursuing those things will bring you joy. Telling you, Travis.
I think it was Willy Wonka that said,
Good day,
you know-
sir. I said good day. Willy
I
Wonka.
said good day. Or the world is
You
filled with wondrous
lose. You get
possibilities.
nothing. You get
Yes,
nothing.
You lose nothing.
Nothing.
Lose.
Loose.
Good day, sir.
Good day. I said good day. That's what Willy Wonka says. Oh wait, he might have said something else, but
Right. And scene. And that
And-
concludes the from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the 1970s version with Gene Hackman.
Gene
Uh,
Wilder. Gene Wilder.
Gene Wilder.
You have Gene Hackman on the brain
would have been a
because
very different.
Gene Hackman just passed away. That's why you have him on the mind.
Right. In a very odd, crazy way, but yeah.
Right. Yeah. Crazy, and he was not in a
Yeah.
good way at the end of his life.
Sad.
Jesus, sucks.
No. It was, the whole thing was just like,
That's the thing, right? I got to
bizarre.
aside on that. It's like there are people like celebrities that we haven't heard from them in 5 years or so. I'm sure and you just assume they're fine. They're just going to reappear again. But then you find out like Gene Hackman lived
right.
on his deathbed for like 2 years. You know what I mean? Like couldn't function.
Val
Couldn't...
Kilmer.
Right.
Like Val Kilmer hasn't been able to
Yeah.
speak in
Right.
and stuff and all this other, Bruce Willis
Bruce Willis.
is like, it's
The waiting who's next. You know what I mean?
I
It's
don't
like-
know if this is helping bring Travis joy.
I think it's telling Travis,
I'm
don't be
thinking
those
we-
people.
Right.
Be
so
grateful for
don't
your health.
Get the stuff that they got. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, be grateful for your health, because if all of those people were under 70. Well, no, not except Gene Hackman. But both Val Kilmer and Bruce Willis, started well before 70s. So,
Sure.
cherish your health and
Yes.
go out there and break something.
You have health and you have freedom, Travis. You can do whatever the frack you want. So go out and do it.
Right.
And again, purpose
Yeah,
will
you're
bring
really
you
only
joy.
kind of limited by budget, but
Yeah,
other
well,
than
to
that,
some extent.
if you've got, but if you're you want to expand your horizons, go for it.
Right.
I would
Right.
say or just go on the fucking Pirates of the Caribbean or the Haunted Mansion.
Or Small World.
And you're 70. You had a good run, Travis. Be grateful for it. Okay, come on. Let's not get
Travis
greedy.
shit. No, Travis, you have a lot more to go. Keep living. Live life.
Yeah. Sure.
All right. Next question comes from Elvis from Tampa, Florida. Elvis says, I met this girl, 30-year-old female, at my office. We've had a friendly relationship at work, but then she unexpectedly kissed me while drunk at the office holiday party. She even warmly calls me her best friend in front of a group of people. Now she's inviting me to go out again with a group of drinks. I don't really drink and have really limited dating experience. Is this potential romantic interest or just harmless flirting? I honestly have no idea. I'd love to ask her out, but don't really know if she's into me. What should I do? Elvis, she's probably into you.
Elvis, you've come to the right place. From the subtle flirting, it is completely obvious that this woman desperately wants access to your throbbing D.
Yes.
She
is DTF.
It's just with just the 2 data points. I mean,
Yes.
while she does currently need some
Alcohol
lubricant in the
too,
form
yes.
of adult beverages,
Right.
clearly she's into you. So if she's calling you her best friend or whatever, so make a move, ask her out,
Yes.
do something.
Yes.
But all signs on this magic 8 ball point to yes.
Yes. Yes.
So I mean, if she rejected you, I would be very surprised.
Correct. I would also be surprised. Go out with the group of friends for drinks. Walk her to her car at the end of the night. See what happens. If she doesn't kiss you, ask her out. Say, hey, maybe just you and I can go out for dinner sometime. I would love to spend more time with you and get to know you better. I gotta say, rest, nature will take its course. You can do it.
Well, she said she doesn't. Yeah, it said she doesn't drink, but or no, he says he does. Yeah, but I guess
He doesn't
either way.
Yeah.
Or yeah, and you can also, especially if you don't drink, it can also be that I'll give you a ride home.
Right.
Because being like, hey, you know what? After work, you know what? Leave your car. I'll give you a ride home. I don't really drink anyway.
Do not.
That can work in your favor.
Elvis left the building. No, Elvis, do not.
What?
Do not hook up with her while she's drunk. Don't do it.
Oh,
You'll regret she's regret it.
Right.
You can
But in
kiss her,
terms of
that's
the driving
fine.
home thing.
Little light kissing, little bit of light petting, perhaps.
But-
Then you have to say, you know what? Let's continue that. Right.
But she does not have to be drunk to be like shouldn't drive. So that doesn't necessarily mean like, oh, she has to be completely hammered, for you to drive her home. So, if she has a couple drinks and then you drive her home, she's not drunk per se.
Correct.
So,
but if she invites
just
him
saying
in, I would not. I would hesitate. I would say,
I get, yes, it would depend because she'd be unable to consent, but
Thank you.
that would be, it would have to, you'd have to like make a judgment call of like, does this person know what's happened? I mean,
error on the side of
because
conservative.
there's drunk and then there's just like, kind of,
Blah, blah, blah.
where you don't know what's happening. Then the shit where you don't remember, that's already post blackout, where
Right.
you're like, you've already gone past where it's like, well, I was at the bar and
Yes.
then nothing.
I woke up in bed with my coworker
Right.
and my butt hurts, or
and
whatever, right?
we had,
It's like,
we had switched underwear. I don't,
Right.
something was,
he was tied to the wall. Right.
yeah. So I think
Easy
you
one,
just gotta
Travis.
summon up some courage and
Easy one.
go for it.
And the group
Well,
things
but
are
Elvis.
excellent. The group things are excellent vehicles. Go out with a group of friends, it's safer, right? Hang out.
Right, absolutely.
Being
She'll be
cash.
more comfortable.
You'll be more comfortable.
You'll be more comfortable. But yeah, I think Vanguard is an excellent idea with the walking to the car or having the going home situation evolve into the move that you wish to make.
And that's one of those things that you can offer. Like the offering of it, she knows in the back of her mind why you're offering, right? But it's enough. It's just enough close to the line where you can play it off as, oh no, I was just concerned. I'm not really interested that way. I just wanted to make sure you got home okay. You know what I mean? So it'll get her
Right,
questioning that
but-
in her mind, and then in a good way.
And I would say that's good advice for if he had no idea and it's like, oh, we sometimes flirt at work, but like she's already like kissed him and like called him her best friend and like and has invited him out for drinks since. So like if it was just one incident, like you'd be like, okay, yeah, she was drunk off his Christmas party and maybe she doesn't even remember. But then later she's out again and she's like, yeah, you have to come. So
You
like
have to come out with us, right?
yeah, I think you're very, very low probability of, her rejecting you at this point or being like, what? Why would you, I don't like you like that. I mean,
Yes.
she could do that and it could just be a big trick just to humiliate you.
Right.
So there's that.
But
too.
that's welcome to being a heterosexual male. I mean, I don't know what
Right.
It's like that's
Hopefully
just,
that is not the type of person she is.
Right.
But,
not. And if
Or
she
you
is,
could be
you don't
on a-
want to date
on
her
a hidden
anyway, so it
camera
all works
show.
out. What's that?
yeah, you might, he might be on a hidden camera show.
Oh, I
I
see.
don't know. Whatever. He might be at this very moment. he could be
Unlikely.
being punked.
Yes.
Is that still a thing? I don't-
Yeah, punked. I don't know. I don't think they do punked anymore.
Punked.
It used to be called Candid Camera, and then it was punked.
Right.
Same thing, but
Very
Same
different.
concept.
When Ashton Kutcher, yeah.
similar concept. Anyway, so yeah, Elva, she's
Right.
into you.
So
Do the group thing.
Yeah,
Walk her to
absolutely
her
into you.
car. See if she makes the move. She does great. If she doesn't, ask her out for, hey, I'd love to see you just one-on-one sometime. What do you think about that? Let it go from there. So, good luck.
Yep, absolutely. I think
For
you are.
Elvis.
You are set. Just
You are on the
make
path.
the move, line
my
it up. But
friend.
she's given you all of the signs, so go for it.
Are on path. All right, cool. Next question comes from
Right.
Grant from Scotch Plains, New Jersey. I know Scotch Plains very well, actually. Hey guys, here's the TLDR. Someone approached me to read narrate something for a recording they were doing for a student project. It said I had a nice voice, which no one has ever told me before. But I did the recording. It was the easiest thing I've ever done. One take. It got published. Many people have told me that my voice is calm and soothing. Any advice? Is narrating a real side hustle? Yes. It is a potential
Yes,
side hustle if you have a good voice.
Yeah, voiceover acting is absolutely a
Huge.
real job.
And the
I
sweetest
mean,
gig. Oh my god, so little work for such good pay. It's
think of the thousands and thousands. Okay, think of the thousands and thousands of people that are needed just to dub Japanese anime
yes.
and the millions of hours of content that has to be translated into multiple languages. Um, the
Includes the hentai, by the way.
you know, so you could say, and yeah, you could definitely get a job saying inscrutable dialogue, but if but although a calm, soothing voice, maybe you could move toward ASMR,
It's about to
which
say.
which absolutely is a pathway. Yeah, it's you make fun of it. What you need to do is you get a
Wait, I need to show. I need to show more cleavage. I'm sorry.
Oh my! You are ruined. You're not even making it weird, and it's not weird. It doesn't have to be sexual. It's
It's pretty.
autonomous meridian response. It's
I understand.
It's called brain massage.
You know my feelings on
That is how it is referred to. Um, and so what you need to do is essentially you get a human head, like foam one, and then you stuff a studio mic into it, and then you get a molded what looks like a human ear, and then you spend hours cleaning the ear
Yes.
with various utensils
Yes.
while whispering.
Yes.
Do you have a twin? Because there is actually a niche of ASMR that is like topless twin ear cleaning.
I was not aware of the
So,
twin genre,
yeah.
subgenre.
Subgenre, yeah. Because
Fantastic.
when you have ASMR, two people do an ASMR, and the combo,
do have
so
two
you have
ears.
one in each ear.
I mean,
right? It's.
there it
I mean,
is.
they really. I don't even know what country they're from or whatever. They've never had to say anything because they don't. It's just two unbelievably attractive women cleaning ears that are actually microphones
Right.
with various kitchen utensils. So,
Welcome to the
Grant,
internet.
fucking do that, man. Like,
Sorry.
I listened to an ASMR that was like the French Whisperer that basically would tell soothing, calm stories
In
or
French.
ASMR, but it would do it with a French accent.
Oh, accent.
And
okay. English and French.
but so like one of them was I described the serial relativity, and so it's him just being like, and then E equals MC squared. It's really
Equivalent to
it's really quite well done.
Mata
I fell asleep very
Renji.
quickly. I'm just saying, it worked for me.
Great. Yeah.
Um,
So yeah, if you think you have a good, absolutely go for it. It could be a very lucrative career, huge business, and very satisfying.
Yeah.
So start off with.
or
Oh, go ahead.
you could have a podcast, maybe an advice one.
That's what else. Maybe you
Or,
could have an advice podcast. Maybe you could be a guest on our
right.
podcast, and we can.
Because
we can-
and there, I got to tell you, and a lot of people don't know, there's huge money in this. I mean,
Yeah.
it's I don't like to.
We're not
you know,
tooting our own horn. They
brag,
call it a
but
flex. We're
I'm-
not flexing or anything.
we're-
However,
Yeah, we're not. It's but we're very important people, and so that's that's that comes with a lot of responsibility.
I was sure.
Just like Spider-Man.
Just like,
Um,
yes.
great power.
It comes great responsibility. That's absolutely true. So, what was I gonna say? Yeah. So there are a few avenues. Podcast is one that you can actually have control of it yourself. But I would absolutely try to get representation and get in the voiceover business. Find an agent, talk to him, use a soothing voice, and say, "Ah, I got the gig for you," and let somebody.
Because it's not going to be just the voice; it's also going to be your ability for inflection. Depending on what you're doing, if you're going to be a narrator, that's
Right.
also where you can do different characters and stuff. So it's not just about the voice; it's also about what you can do with it. Other than you can be calm and soothing, but can you and be yeah no.
You have a good voice.
But yeah, voiceover work is a very it's a very niche industry, but if you can break into it,
Absolutely.
you'll do well.
Always looking for top talent. You have a good voice. My voice is too nasal.
I definitely do not have a good voice. I have been I don't I
Dryer.
please move on to the next question, because if we need to be able to have a rational discussion
I know.
about ASMR without you starting to take off your shirt, pulling your microphone close, and starting to tap on it with your fingers. Okay? We need to be able to do that at some point. Maybe not today, at some point.
But it is
I want
not.
you to,
It is not
you
this
know,
day.
I want you to. It is not this day,
It's not
but at
this
some
day.
point, I'm gonna need you to take it seriously.
Right. All right. Next question comes from Cassidy from Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Cassidy says, Cassidy needs advice. I'm starting to feel overwhelmed by becoming everyone's therapist, from friends to coworkers to strangers. People constantly vent to me about their problems, leaving me emotionally drained while I try to juggle college, a job, and my own anxiety. I really struggle to say no or set boundaries, feeling I'll seem cold or lose friends. Now I feel myself growing resentful. How do I set boundaries from being everyone's emotional sponge?
Yeah.
Cassidy.
Okay. Well,
You could send
so
him here,
Cassidy,
for one thing.
exactly. That was going to be my. You could certainly send them here for recommendation. You know, you live in Wyoming, and I'm going to go out on a
Right.
limb and say there aren't a lot of qualified mental health professionals banging around Wyoming.
Yes.
So you seem like a very nice person who is approachable, and so people, you know, when they want to vent or they want to get something off their chest, you're a person they feel safe with.
Right.
So
You're-
you know that's
you're,
good.
You're cursed with the gift of empathy, is what your problem is, Cassidy.
Right. Exactly.
This is not a bad thing.
So,
But it comes
but,
with its own baggage.
but at this point, you want to create boundaries, and the only boundaries I'm familiar with involve reinforced steel and concertina wire, or you know. But I think Vanguard can help with the setting boundaries, because I've never set a boundary that wasn't just busted through like a steam engine.
I know. I
How do you set boundaries, Vanguard?
how do I? I have to admit it's a challenge. And I have felt similar to Cassidy in the past, where I will get into a conversation with someone, and I am an approachable, very highly empathic person. So they will say, "I will vent everything at you." I have to do a lot of and nodding and and in my mind I'm like, I gotta get the fuck out of this conversation. You know what I mean? You know, this person
Right.
legitimately needs help, and I do feel for them. But you know, just being hammered like that is just draining, right? So the approach I make is like, you need to
It's draining for people who get paid to do it. I mean,
Right.
it's draining for anybody. You know,
totally
if you talk to therapists, it's like at the end of the day, they're just like, fuck. Like, you know,
sure
talk about, you know, when some people want to check out of the news, they don't get stressed out. Then you just have all of the world's problems like dumped on you, you know.
Right.
So,
So one vehicle, and you need to be judicious and careful how you use this. So they say one of the key facets of therapy is to let the person talks their way through their own journey, talking to you,
active listening.
active listening. So, and I typically take an approach, and as the show demonstrates, we will just give opinions and share the answers, what we think the answers are, right? So if someone says, "Oh my God, my girlfriend, she just gets me so stressed," and break up with her, right? And like give that
Right.
person a path, like just break up with her. You're clearly not happy, you know. And either they won't like what you're saying and we'll stop the conversation, or they'll take your
Right.
advice and improve their life. So either way, you win, and you've shortened the dialogue. You know what I mean? So it's like,
And that is assuming you are always correct. But
Right.
that's what we do. So
right,
it works.
correct.
You know, if it works for
Yes.
us, it can work for you too.
It works, right? Which you're not always correct, but you know, you can't always bat 1,000. But you know,
Yeah,
again,
but
that's
I
why I
mean,
said
you know.
judiciously, right? You got to think about when you do that, because you don't want to cause harm to anybody, right? But
Right.
that's one of the things, because
I
some
mean-
people just want to listen, and yes, listen to an extent, but then when you start giving back and saying, "Well, have you thought about? To think about? Why don't you try? How about?" You know what I mean? And they might either get put off by it, like, "Ugh, not what I want. I just wanted to vent," you know, in which the
Right.
venting session will probably
Yeah,
end.
because
right, which is
most
fine.
people don't want
To
a
be challenged.
solution.
Right.
I've found.
They don't want a solution.
Like,
they don't
they
want to
just-
be, and they don't want to be challenged how they feel. Like, you know, like
Right.
my boss is riding my ass because I'm like, well, how's your job performance? Are you actually getting stuff done? Like, how much do you get
Right.
done? a
Oh
week?
yeah,
You know
never
what I
do
mean?
that. Yeah, I mean, it's just like, well, this guy was. Well, what were you wearing?
well,
Yeah, no,
you know,
absolutely.
never say that. That's another part, but you know,
Validate
that's the
their emo-
idea.
You need to validate their emotions, because
Yes,
they
yes.
are having genuine emotion, and that is
That's right.
happening. And
That's
as
right.
an empathetic person, you are
Yes,
sensing that and trying to react accordingly.
but
in
I'm
order
saying
to,
challenging them to
help.
some extent might
I mean,
adds a new dynamic.
I
to
would
it, right?
say I would say challenge them in terms of if they're starting to catastrophize their
Yes.
situation, and you
Yes.
can see that, kind of pull them back from
Yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah.
but like no judgment or anything.
Right.
But again, if your idea is to not have to do this as much and you just want to
Oh.
set boundaries, you could just become an asshole, and it'll stop.
I do
I
not
mean,
advocate for this.
like,
I don't think Cassidy can do that. I think
I
Cassidy
don't
is
advocate
too,
for it. I'm just saying it is an option.
It is. But I
and
think
you
Cassidy's
could
too
potentially
caring
take.
and feeling for this.
Yeah. Yeah. So, well, get yourself a bunker with a good blast door, where they can't reach you, and then you don't have to feel bad about it because you're in your bunker.
I have to say too, Cassidy, one of the things. So yeah, so the thing I said is that again, if you in addition to the active listening, send some back, like challenge some assumptions, ask a lot of questions, give some direct, well, why don't you just do this? You know what I mean? And that might put some people off saying, oh, you're not giving me what I need right now, right? Which, hopefully you find that right balance, right? Because you generally don't
Right.
want to miss people. The other thing is that if there are certain people who this is all they do, if all they do is dump on you, it's like the dynamic of your relationship, you need to consider distancing
Right.
yourself from that relationship because that's not healthy for you. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
someone's
that
all-
would be the true emotional sponge situation. Like
Yes.
if there are, go through, like in your head, like if there's a series of people that do this, but there are a couple of outliers that are especially problematic.
Right.
That's
That's
that
what I'm
may be
getting
those could be the toxic ones that are really draining you.
Right.
And if you kind of were able to get those off your plate, then normal people just telling you how their day was.
normal
you know,
venting
go-
versus like
Yeah.
So how's it going today? Oh my god, I'm so miserable. I blah 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 blah.
Right.
And you're just like enough. When it's every conversation's like that, you're just like you can't be in that relationship anymore with that person. It's like
Debbie Downer, and then there's
Right.
like the sad trumpet.
like at that point they need professional
Like,
help,
yeah.
right? That's beyond like the okay now like I'm a free therapist, like you know what I mean? Like you're not that, right? So it's like just
Right.
say, look, you seem to be going through a lot right
mean-
now. You need someone professionally. I can't help you. You know what I mean? That kind of thing.
I mean, who would
feel like
go
you're
out
saying
there and just tell people what to do based upon like their own opinions without any sort of like professional credibility? Like that's crazy. I bet you white guys would do it.
Yeah,
Like that's
straight
like his
white guys from
fucking
the internet.
entitled white
Think-
guys
They know fucking everything, don't they?
about everything.
Just think they know stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
People have said I'm white, but like Stephen Colbert,
are?
I don't see color, so
Oh my
I have
god,
no
you
idea.
what?
I have no idea. I choose not to know.
You're actually obscenely white, like, almost to the point where very white.
Yes, I am familiar with the nicknames Casper.
You're a very white man.
Yeah, I am very familiar with my lack of melanin.
Yes, in
It's,
the skin. As am
it's-
I. As am I.
It has been a subject of discussion my entire life.
Yes, I'm sure.
But just get a good dermatologist.
Mrs. Vanguard always makes the pun whenever vacationing and are going to go in the ocean. Oh, you're going to scare away all the fish with your beacon of whiteness as it reflects all light.
That's fun.
Yeah, that's great.
That's fine. That's nice of her.
That's nice.
You know.
I know it's
Mine is that said my Mrs. Greenpants also does the same thing. Although I would say, she is no very tan Greek olive skinned person either. So
yes, I know exactly.
Um
Mrs. Vanguard's pretty tan. Almost look like an interracial.
the
We've been called such, but it's
really interracial. Okay, yeah, fair enough.
really tangible. All right. Anyway,
Right.
Cassidy,
So
that's our thing.
I think we're done. But yeah,
Hopefully, we've given you enough to work with. You can use the subtle
Yeah.
clues like we started with. You can use the more direct clues if it's someone that's really on a regular basis, getting you in the zone. All right, you can't have dysfunctional people in your life, and people who think like, well, but what if your friend needs help? I get that to an extent. You can't do it at the expense of yourself. You need to encourage that person to get professional assistance. Get to that, and I'll be you,
right.
and I'll be on you.
Especially if you see them going down a path where it's like, okay, they could
Right.
go down and start making some really terrible decisions.
Right.
That's where it is. You're not responsible, but you can at least try to guide them in that direction. You can't force anything on anybody, but if at least you you go that direction, you know you tried, and
Right.
you know that you put your best effort into it. So
Exactly.
um,
All right. Our last question comes from Miranda
right,
from Loudonville, New York. I'm also from.
Miranda. Okay.
My boyfriend doesn't like the fact that I have celebrity crushes. You know the joke idea of a list of famous people you and your partner would allow you to cheat on because they are who they are? Absolutely. Well, this idea absolutely freaks the hell out of my boyfriend. I would never cheat on him, but I don't think he'll ever get over the fact that I said I want to fuck Jason Momoa. I really don't know what to say to him or how I can make him feel reassured. What should I do? Okay, one quick thing on this. You don't fuck Jason Momoa. Jason Momoa fucks you.
Right.
I just want to make that clear.
Okay. Exactly how small is your boyfriend's penis? Because if he honestly is worried about you fucking Aquaman, you know, it's got to be
Very
tiny
handsome
because
man,
your
by the way.
boyfriend, he is displaying microscopically frail sense of self worth.
He's afraid of being a cock, right? I think it's
right, but I mean to the point. But he's just he's projecting his unbelievable insecurity, and that's exactly what that is. Because this is, I mean, to a ridiculous level where someone says, you know, I want to fuck Aquaman, and they're
Right.
like, you know what, now, you know,
Right.
they go into a jealous
I'm
rage.
insecure.
That's
Yeah.
that's I mean, your boyfriend sounds like an adorable little cinnamon bun of a person, and the lack of confidence presenting itself as idiotic jealousy is as cute as a bucket of kittens. But at the same time, it's also pitiable and fucking tragic. So I would dump your boyfriend. Definitely dump your boyfriend.
I was hoping we'd get through an episode without
think-
having to ruin a relationship.
No, I think you got it. You know what, Miranda? Fuck this guy. That's crazy. If he's worried about you fucking Aquaman, you're not even going to be able to have a male coworker friend because
Right,
this
that's what
guy
I was gonna get
if
at.
he's
Exactly.
if he's that
That
insecure,
insecure,
this
yeah.
is, I mean, talk about a red flag.
Yeah,
It's
huge.
like, you know,
Huge.
he's
It's a pretty big red flag. The guy you can actually never have. And I mean, I would fuck Jason Momoa, as would Super J, right? Like, why she's asking why doesn't the dude also want to fuck Jason Momoa?
I mean, I
Very
think
good-looking man.
it's standard. I think it's just standard thing that everybody wants to fuck Jason Momoa. Just like as a general rule, that would be a standard human response to a gentleman such as Jason Momoa
right?
and his
This massive.
unbelievably massive frame, strong, protective, rigid.
You want a little bit of Khal Drogo, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So, and that's the point. I think Grandpa hits it right on the head, right? The fact that he's insecure about a guy you're realistically never going to ever see, let alone be with or have the opportunity to have sex with, right? Again, it's the first guy that comes into your life that you're friendly with or anything like that. It's going to become a huge thing, right? This guy's got a major insecurity complex, and you need to have that conversation with him. You can say, "Look, you need to get over this, dude. It's like I find other men attractive, and you need to accept that. I'm
Right.
not with you." See, he's applying his standards of I'm a guy. Here's my guess. He's applying his standards of I'm a guy, and whoever I find attractive, I want to have sex with. Right? Women don't think that way.
But-
For the most part, they think,
Right.
you know what I mean? It's like,
Well,
for some,
Yeah,
they
I mean,
do.
like, to me, it's
Some
just
they do.
it's like it's expecting your partner to have forgotten their sexuality and be
Correct.
like, I don't find anybody sexually attractive anymore.
Correct.
Because it like if it's because we're talking not even like there's any possibility. We're talking about Aquaman here, Jason
Right.
Momoa,
Right.
fucks you, but so that being the tier of never gonna happen, and he's getting upset about it. That just means he's upset that you might like anybody that's not him,
Correct.
which is massively disturbing.
And for the wrong reasons, for the wrong context, right? It's just for the looks, right? So Miranda's boyfriend, if you're watching, here's the thing: Miranda likes you because of the way you look, but also because of the way you are and of who you are and the things that you do and the way that you talk to her and whatever kind behaviors you exhibit and whatever other traits that you exhibit. You know what I mean? Like,
And
he sees you as-
unfortunately, all that is gone now because she's breaking up with you because you are an absolute idiot, and Miranda has
and you
moved
got
on.
rid of a wonderful woman like
And-
Miranda.
And I've already sent her a list of references of places that she can,
Oh my god.
find some companionship with
Yes.
someone who's not a you know,
Insecure toad.
completely insecure lunatic.
Yes, I'm just saying,
Scientifically.
like Miranda,
Medically, I don't know.
Miranda's boyfriend. Miranda likes you for a slew of reasons, right? So she
Not
doesn't
anymore,
know
though.
Jason. Not anymore because
She
she's
hates
broke
you
up
now.
with
She's done. She's broken up with you. So, cry
Yes.
into your pillow.
I'm sorry, Miranda's boyfriend. I tried.
Yeah.
I tried to save this
Yeah.
relationship. I tried to
know.
get the one
There's
episode
nothing-
without us ruining a relationship. Here we
No,
are.
sorry, Miranda. You know what you need to do.
Yes.
Miranda's boyfriend. I don't know what you're gonna do, but best of luck to you.
What you're gonna do, but you better figure your shit out.
All right.
That's what it is.
All right. You're up for speed round this week.
No. No, I'm gonna hold the pen
mean
and say
no?
no. I'm not.
Every time, it's how are you never? How is it
I'm
never?
gonna
your
check.
turn for
I
speed
just
round?
did it fucking last week.
No, you did not.
Checking.
I absolutely did it last week.
Oh shit, it was.
I am familiar with what happens.
Because you
1
no,
week
you
from
know what
week
messed
to
me
each
up
other.
because you took Summer Glau as your roommate. That's what made me think it was me.
Oh,
doing
because
it.
it was so because it disrupted your train of thought so much that the idea of me and Summer Glau together passionately
Yes.
making.
That yes.
See, right there. I say I can see your eye starts to twitch.
My-
Yeah, exactly.
My roommate.
All right. I won't ask you any Summer Glau related questions.
Oh my god! Don't ask me any fucking food questions either. It's like I hate. You know my view on food. I'm just right here.
You just don't like it in general, or
You know, I
there's
just
a-
don't care for
well,
food.
let's see,
I'm
there's
not
a lot-
food
you don't
guy.
eat-
I don't like food.
no, that's true. That's true. You sustenance is a very low value to you.
An inconvenience.
I know, I get it. You just want a kind of a food pill or something that
Yes.
can just satiate you. That you
1,000
don't have to
calorie
worry
food
about.
pill. I'll go.
Yeah.
So, it could taste like chicken. That's fine. I'll have a little flavor to it. That's fine.
Right.
Doesn't need to. Yeah. Anyway.
I don't know.
Okay.
I think you
So,
get bored, but all right.
Speed
60
round.
seconds.
5 rapid fire questions. Green Pants is going to hit them at me. I'm going to have 60 seconds to answer them. We'll do an unpack at the end. And we'll start the timer when Green Pants finishes reading the first question. I am ready. Hit me.
Are you ready?
I am.
All right. What's a food you love, but most people find weird?
Damn it. Ramen?
If you could have any animal as a pet, regardless of the practicality, what would it be?
Uni the unicorn from the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon.
What's a smell that brings back strong memories?
Oh God. Vomit, but certain types of vomit. I'll
Okay.
expand my memory.
I want to unpack that later.
Yeah, we'll unpack it.
What inanimate object do you have a strange attraction to?
Strange attraction
attachment
to? Oh, attachment to.
Attachment to it.
A strange attachment. It's gonna sound weird. My computer.
That's not weird.
My desktop.
And
desktop computer.
which fictional character do you most strongly identify with? Of
Oh.
the ones that you've read.
Probably Superman.
Wow.
Because,
Okay, bold. Well done.
there you go. All right, that's it. I did it.
So the fictional character you
You're-
most strongly
yeah.
identify with is Super fucking Man?
From a
Really?
character perspective, yes, because I can empathize with the plight of Superman, knowing he can do anything and he can rule the world. He could be he could be Homelander, you know what I mean?
Right.
Or he
exactly.
could be Superman, or he could be Brightburn, or he could
Right.
be, you know what I
Or he
mean?
could be Superman.
And he's choosing, like being able to have that and choose that. I think is like this amazing trait that I would wish upon myself if I was find myself in that position. You know what I mean? That like I would not be selfish. I would do everything I could to be good. People would annoy the hell out of me. I knew I couldn't laser them. You know what I mean? Even though I could, but I wouldn't.
Yeah.
And no jail will hold me. But I'm still not going to commit crimes because it's the right thing to do.
If you were
know what I
Brightburn,
mean?
you would
It's
fucking,
like
you would totally laser them.
I would not laser them. I would not laser anybody.
If you were
Yeah.
Brightburn, you would laser them.
If I was, well, that's what
If you-
Brightburn does.
If you were Homelander, you
If
would
I was
absolutely laser them.
Homelander clearly lasers everyone he looked. He
Lasers
that
everybody. that
crosses him the
just
wrong way.
disagrees
Like, if you
with,
say
even
something-
slightly.
If you say something inconvenient, he'll either rip you in half
get
or laser
lasered
you.
instantly. Yeah.
Yeah.
He does it without thinking.
Laser. Right. So
For
Superman.
me, I
How about
think
you?
the Arthur Dent.
Okay.
Because like the world, it just seems like the world is a lot more like lots of stuff is going on around me. I
Yes.
don't even understand what the hell is happening. Getting pulled
You're
along
like an
for the
innocent
ride.
bystander to existence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just kind of looking around, being like,
the
"Really,
fuck?
the
Yeah,
universe
yeah,
is this fucked up?
And
Really?"
it's Arthur
Like,
Dent.
yeah, I was like, you know what? Yeah, it is. So yeah, I think that it's that feeling of helplessness,
Yeah.
that feeling of never quite sure what the next thing's going to happen is, kind of a trembling anxiety. That yes, strongly identify Arthur
Nice.
Dent.
Another thing about Superman,
Um,
before we leave that one, is that in most tellings of the lore, he lives an extremely long time, meaning like he'll outlive everyone. You know what I mean? That he knows and loves.
right.
Right? He'll live for like hundreds of years. I do have a bit of a
He could go back to Krypton or something if he wanted to.
Krypton's gone. There's no more Krypton. Blown up.
He could, you know. Oh yeah, right. It did get blown up.
Blown up.
Oh, yeah. Well, he could join the Justice League, and um, doesn't Wonder Woman lives a very long time as well, I believe.
Yes, she also does not age.
And also Aquaman. Not quite sure.
Aquaman, I believe,
but
does age. Perhaps
we
slowly than
but everyone wants to fuck him.
wants that second.
Um,
Killing Superman
the
and Wonder Woman.
Any animal as a pet. So yours was
Uni from the
unicorn?
Dungeon and
Oh,
Remember that?
okay. Like, if I can
Sure.
just have any like animal, like I would have Summer Glau because I've heard she is just an animal,
She's
you
an
know, in the
animal
bedroom,
in
and so I would
bed.
just be extent
Yeah,
and
no,
in that.
it
So
needs to be.
Summer
It
Glau,
needs to
first
be
choice.
It needs.
First choice. I took it. No backsies. You can't take it.
Oh my god.
Or I would have hippos. Like I would have a moat
Hippos. Okay.
like around my house.
Some McGlower,
with
and you would have hippos in the
hippos.
moat.
Because the greatest thing about hippos is that like they are extremely dangerous and are one of the like the third most thing that kills the third most dangerous thing. It's like man, and then
Hippos.
I
Lions.
don't know if hippos is second, but in terms of like animals that kill humans,
Yeah, lions.
because they simply hate us. They just are mean.
Well, hippos
Just
ate
pissed
everything.
off all the time,
Kill
and they're
stuff,
huge.
right.
Yeah, which is why. So I want to put a couple of them in a moat
I see.
from a house. That those would be awesome pets because they would just be like, no, it's like, sorry, you got to get past the hippos. Bertha and Billy, right
You
there.
have to properly
What are you
care
gonna
for
do?
the hippo.
Yeah, one tells the truth, one always lies. Which one is it? You got to
Hippo.
figure it out. You got to solve a riddle by hippos.
And then one of the hippos comes out and says, "I'm
No.
lying," and you got to
Right.
figure out which one's which.
Got to work it out. So you have to ask one hippo what the other hippo would say. Right? You solve the riddle. Moat with hippos. So my wife would say giraffe.
Okay.
I think would be
Okay.
if we could have like a tower of giraffes in the
Is it
backyard.
because of the tongue? Is it because
know.
of the giraffe's 18-inch tongue?
I think it's because of the height and the
I think it might be the tongue.
neck. I don't know. I'm not sure. Giraffes are just interesting creatures.
There,
and they
we had the fortune, and I won't say it was miss or pro fortune, but fortune of doing one of those drive-through safaris several years ago. In Garden. Drove the car through there, and a giraffe walked over and looked in the sunroof. Right, looked in the sunroof.
as they
observed
do.
what was going on, right, and then sort of looked in the main window, and then extended its tongue, which is obscenely large for the size of its head, and licked the entire side of the car. It went blah.
Nice. Best car wash you'll ever get.
It was pretty nasty, but I was impressed with the size of the giraffe tongue. Yeah,
We have actually, as I said, Mrs. Greenpants really, really likes giraffes. So we have gone and fed giraffes and
I see.
gone to like giraffe experience where you go to the park with the zookeeper
Mhm.
and you actually you break off branches and you feed them.
Same thing.
And I actually did a couple, and that tongue is unbelievably strong.
It's
It
insane.
is it can rip it out of your hand.
Yes.
That's why. So the the animal handlers where we say just with the giraffes, just like let them take
Let it
it.
go.
Like don't
Don't
hand it
fight
to them.
Right.
Just take because they will literally just like skin your hand. It's the power that they just when they grab it, it's so
Absolutely.
quick.
Absolutely.
So you kind of have to be like, yeah, just take it.
Isn't there a Disney resort where you basically your balconies are looking over the safari or something, and you
No, there was a giraffe hotel that is I believe it's either in Kenya or it might be Botswana, but it's a hotel that is in the middle of a large area of giraffes, and so everything is centered around giraffes, and so they like even the hotel guests where they sit, the windows are like right there at the
Oh,
giraffe
yeah.
level height, so the giraffes just eat while they're in there.
Right.
Yeah, so oh yeah, there's a place for you
Giraffes are
if you really like giraffes.
Great.
Um,
What else do we have? Oh, the smell.
food that oh the smell, yeah.
Smell. So
I
yeah, the memories of the I had very profound memories. I was younger. I had an iron stomach, and I could eat anything. Kind of crap food. Blow it away. And there's one time.
and now you eat nothing.
I was right. I was bought a bag of circus peanuts. Remember circus peanuts? The bag was about way big.
Oh
Entire bag of circus peanuts.
yeah,
I sat there and I
those
was
like
like,
orange ones.
go gulp. Yeah, the orange ones. Go gulp, go gulp, go gulp, go gulp, go gulp. I had the entire bag of circus peanuts, and I was sitting there. I felt fine, and then all of a sudden I felt this rumble in my stomach. I'm like, ooh. Then I'm like, I walked over the toilet and my mouth opened, and what came out was this inhuman material.
Foam?
That shouldn't- and it had a very distinct smell. It was
Sure
it
it
was
did.
this orange goo that emitted from my body, and my body said, "No, this is you may not have this.
Right,
This is
it
bad for you.
rightfully said.
I'm going to
It
eject
didn't.
this
It didn't
from
even
you."
get to the stomach was like, "Go fuck yourself."
Yes.
It's sending
Yes.
it back.
Yes.
And yeah,
Like,
and
this is
rightfully
done.
so.
Yeah,
Like,
and it all came back out. A
you
whole bag
you
of circus
attempted
peanuts.
to poison yourself.
Right, a whole bag of digested circus peanuts came out, and that smell is very, and it smelled like the circus peanuts, kind of in a way, but like with puke. You know what I mean? It's like pukey.
Hmm.
And I've smelled puke of similar.
Character.
Yes, and it brings me back to that point. I'm like, ugh. Like, oh my god, that is what. What about your smell? What's your smell then?
My smell would be probably the savory like aroma of a strip club that is serving eggs and legs. So it's that like it's a combination of scrambled eggs, body spray, glitter, and desperation.
Right, that would have been my second choice. There's a particular.
But it's a very
Yeah.
very particular.
Yeah,
You walk
for
in,
the-
you're like,
for
yeah,
the-
here I am.
For those not aware, there is a I don't know if it's the same brand or what, but there's this strawberry body spray that is bought by strippers across the land. They
Across
all buy
the
it
world.
right across the
I
world,
don't. It's
and
you
it's a
know.
very particular like, and it's got like that, when you smell something fake that's got like formaldehyde and dyes and something like, oh, it's like a fake strawberry, but it's that.
I think it's filled
they-
with pheromones.
Yeah,
I
but
think
they-
it's a thing that's covered in
Something.
pheromones, which just makes us give them
strawberries.
money.
Right.
But it's like it just
Ah.
happens to be strawberry,
Ah.
but it's actually it's something that it's designed for us to make stupid decisions.
That's right, which is funny because it wasn't Mrs. Vanguard. It was somebody else. It might have been my previous girlfriend. I was chewing gum of this strawberry flavor, and she put the gum in and was chewing it, and I went boing, and I was like, "Oh, I'm in a strip club." You know, it's like naturally.
Wow. Yeah, that'll do it. You're triggered.
Triggered.
All of a sudden, you're like, oh wait,
I'm there.
you-
Wait,
well,
can I
you-
grab
you
that? I
know,
can't grab
you
these. I
can't-
gotta-
no,
I gotta pay
can't-
you.
I can't. No, I can't. No
What's the
touching.
transaction?
I don't
understand how
have
to do
cash.
this. I have money.
know,
Who
I
does
didn't,
what?
I didn't buy any beaver bucks,
Right.
so I don't have the currency of this establishment because I need to buy the beaver bucks before, and then I give the beaver bucks to you, and then ostensibly your boss person gives you actual money
Yes.
when you cash in the beaver bucks.
At the end
but
of the
it's
night.
all a little questionable. But right now I'm 18 and just want to see naked women, so let me get some beaver bucks.
And I don't want to get thrown out by the bouncer. Yes.
Right.
Oh my god.
I would say for me an object that I have a strange attachment to.
Yeah.
Purell. I never
Agreed.
go anywhere
I know
without
you
it.
well
It's like,
enough that that's the thing.
yeah, it's just like, yeah, it feels weird if I don't have
go
it.
to. Yeah.
And it's to the point where it's been 35 years of me having Purell.
Yeah.
So
You did it way before it
'cause
was
I had it
popular.
for-
Did it way before it was popular.
right. I did it because my father had a bone marrow transplant and we always had to use Purell. So to me it was like perfectly normal, and I
Right.
realized that it was not.
I remember that time.
everyone else.
Remember the time I mocked you when we were on that trip about the
I
Purell?
remember the time that you begged me for Purell.
It was
when you wanted to
after
eat
I
your
mocked
bologna
you.
sandwich.
Yes. So this is for
After you
yes.
mocked me
Yes.
and with your hands in bat shit.
right. That's exactly what it was. That's where I ate my humble pie / bologna sandwich. When I was mocking
Yeah.
Green Pants for its constant Purell use, and then we went on a cave hike, or cave, and it was full of bat shit. And climbing up the rocks, my hands are then touching the bat shit. And then we get up, and the guides who are taking us on the walk are sitting and says, "Okay, we have bologna sandwiches for you that you must, of course, hold with your hands." So I looked at my hands, and I said, "I'm not touching food with these hands." And then I looked up at Green Pants, they're like this, shaking the bottle of Purell.
Yeah.
Damn it.
It's sad that it had to get to the. It's like, well, I need to
got to
wash
that
my
point.
hands because there's actual bat shit on my
Right.
hands. But like, how
It had
dirty can
salmonella
they
in
be?
it,
And you're
like-
still like, yeah, it's fine. Like I just,
No, I'm not that prideful, clearly.
I am not
I'm like,
putting
I'm going to eat this
anything
sandwich
into
no
my
matter
body.
what. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I will not eat anything if my hands are not Purelled. It's like it won't. It's like it's not.
Really?
It's sort of like they
So,
go together.
Walk me through the scenario. You went to the bath. You go to a restaurant. You held the menu. You ordered your food. You put the menu down. The menu's taken away. Now you're just sitting there like, oh, I have to go to the bathroom. You go pee. You wash with soap and water. They have the thing on the. It's either a push-out door or it's the door where you can hook your foot in and not touch the door. You don't
Okay.
touch the door. You walk right back to your booth. Sit down. You have to Purell.
Then I no, I do not.
Okay, thank you.
Because it's the same thing. Like because at home, it's like if I wash my hands and I don't touch anything and sit down,
Right.
yes.
Right.
But if it was like if I washed my hands an hour before, like no, that doesn't count. You know
It's
what
an
I mean?
hour.
Or like
Things could have happened.
because
You don't
Right,
trust what you
exactly.
might have touched,
So-
or it's like just
there's germs everywhere.
Flying
so
through the
I
air,
just like
landing
right
on
before I
your
eat, I'm
hands.
like, why don't I just get all of the, germs and bacteria off my hands before I put anything in my mouth, including the hands.
sure.
That's just come on, that's just sound advice. Some people would say, also my penis, strange attachment to it, never go anywhere without it.
Now, do you wash your
um,
hands before you touch your penis?
to do
You do.
to do I oh
Going to pee. You wash your hands first.
before I pee? No.
Your penis.
Right, but what
Okay.
is your penis touching that is so bad?
That's what your hands. You put
That-
your hands on your penis. Dirt's
Okay,
on
but
the contamination on the hands, and then you're gripping your penis.
what's on your penis that is like
No,
so
it's-
poisonous
it's
that
the
it would
hands. It's coming from the hands, and then you touch the penis and
Okay.
get the stuff from the hands onto
It's
the
your,
penis.
it's yours though.
That's right.
Like
Yeah, but that same logic. It's your mouth.
you're the weird one here.
Am I the weird
Okay.
one?
I think so.
I think it
Um,
makes more sense to
Purell.
wash your
And-
hands before you pee than after. That's what I'm saying. 'Cause you're touching your own penis.
I just think your penis must be a lot dirtier than others.
My penis is so
that
clean.
You must have a horrifically dirty penis.
No, I
even
use-
with this
because
because it doesn't work
I-
that way with the.
Use both
The
ends
bidet?
of the bidet, both sides.
Does the bidet have an upper end that goes
Yes.
downward onto the penis?
That's
This bidet continues to fucking amaze me.
fantastic.
God damn it!
Best
I
fucking
have-
thing.
Like every time you
You-
talk about the bidet,
You gotta come
I
over and
learn
use
something
it.
new.
You gotta come over and use it.
I just,
I do that for you. Let you use
is
it.
that weird using someone else's bidet? I guess not because you're not really touching it. Are you? I don't know.
I mean, your ass
Yeah,
is
it's,
going on it, but it would if it was. Not like I wouldn't let you use my bathroom if you were over, right? Like
Right.
Bathroom, sure.
I just,
Yeah.
I would feel, that would be.
So you're just doing that, but
Um,
you're pushing an extra button.
I've like it require. I need to know you a little longer before that.
Is that right?
Like 30 years.
30 years
not
isn't enough.
No, maybe after 50 years. Feel
Yeah,
comfortable.
50. Then we'll be at
Use-
bidet
using
sharing
someone's bidet.
level. Yeah,
So I hit 70. I will let you know.
and then we could be like, what's his name, Grant from
Right.
who's Grant? No, Travis from Anaheim. 70.
Right. Yes, Travis, who wants joy.
Yes.
Who lives right next to Disneyland. A food that I love that most people find weird.
Yes.
I think you nailed it with ramen, because like I'm always astounded that you still eat ramen, but
I ate tonight for dinner.
I realize that it's something very different in other countries, like in terms of like when you order ramen in China, it's like thick noodle. I mean,
Oh yeah,
It's
it's like a legit meal.
yeah. But is it the same stuff with the MSG packet that you get?
I don't think it is.
I don't know. I just
Like
to
putting
me,
vegetables and stuff. Like I spent like a month and a half in Japan, and I had authentic ramen there. It was freaking fantastic.
yeah,
But it was
right, yeah, that's where it's like really good.
it was like
Like,
it
can
was
you
like
get
their
that
pasta. It
here?
was like their pasta. You know what I mean? It was like noodles in a
Right,
broth
exactly.
with some
Right.
chicken and some other stuff put in it. Like, hey, can you get that here?
So
I guess
it's
you
better
can.
than having the little squiggly ones a packet.
You can get it, but probably not for 30 cents a packet.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Just like what
Yeah,
ramen is.
for me, it would be Braunschweiger, also, which is liver cheese,
Ah,
which most people will not even touch. But it
oh,
was like as a kid,
sounds
it
revolting.
was served as sandwiches and stuff, and it's not
Uh,
liver because I hate liver. But the actual this thing, liver cheese, which is I first had it when I was like 5 or 6. It's something that like I got used to very young, and so even now, like I'm like, oh yeah, it's not too bad. And Mrs. Greenpants would be like, that is actual poison. Like
right, you were putting and you were
that
putting it
is
in your
not
mouth.
food. That is not food of any kind. That is not well. That's like I would never really buy it, but um, I've definitely experienced it with her, and she's horrified at it. Um, well, that and the chicken feet, but
Chicken feet. Right.
it's
Oh, I remember the chicken feet.
you know, it's hard to find good chicken feet, especially um, in the North Americas.
Actually, no. Remember, you have another weird thing that you didn't mention here. So remember, we used to
I
go.
have
You do like the chicken wings, making me
I
think
have lots
chicken.
of weird things.
Yeah, the chicken
Oh,
wing.
chicken wing. No, in term. Okay. No, because just because I suck the bone marrow out of and
Yes.
get all of the protein. Okay, that is called efficiently
Right.
eating chicken wings. Okay, I use all of it.
You know.
I don't eat the bone, but yeah, I strip out the
Right.
nougat,
And
that
it looks
that
like a
sweet
bleached.
marrow.
When this man is done with the chicken wing, it looks like a
It is.
bleached bone is all it remains, not a
It is.
shred of
It was in the
anything.
desert for days.
Anything.
Yes.
It is. It's like
Yeah.
it's a Super J
Attacked
says
by
no.
piranhas.
Super J says no one sucks a bone better than Green Pants.
No one does. Hey, now you meant that in a not way. That
Something way. I know
Um,
exactly. Right. Like if
um,
you found a bone in the desert, right, that's been sitting there for 100 years, it will have more shit on it than his chicken wing bones when he's done with them.
Right. and my son is
Oh, did he learn
started
this
to
skill
sort
from
of
you?
take up that habit.
Yeah.
Well, I just sort of it told him, it's like, what part do you eat? All of it,
Yeah.
except the bone.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, okay. And so yeah,
I guess that's what I do then.
He
Right.
tries, and he knows the proper way to eat it because I have shown him his entire life. He just sees very, very clean, stark, white, dry bones on a plate that just go clack, 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 clack. And he knows that is the expectation.
Right. Yes.
So,
and Green Pants used to chide us and say, "Why are you wasting so much meat?"
exactly. You know how much iron is in the marrow, man? I mean, like, yeah, that's just it's common sense. I will not. I will not be mocked for common sense. I will not be.
Oh my god.
I reject the premise of your
That's
mocking.
fine.
So
Anyway,
ASMR is real, and it's not.
I'm not denying it's not real. I just think it's kind of hogwash.
All right. Well, we're not going to talk about it today.
We're not
All right,
gonna
so we're
watch
not
it.
talk about it today.
Maybe-
Not this day.
Maybe we'll get a question next week.
All right.
Who knows?
We'll see.
Could say. Many viewers. Speaking of which, below Green Pants is where you submit the questions. Click
Yes.
the
Can you
link
please
below
submit
him.
questions?
Yeah, because we
Right below
need
me here.
questions. We need to like mix the pool. Actually, we have pretty good. We only had one relationship question this week, which is not bad at all.
Right.
Um,
Yeah. It was with
Mixing it up.
the random poll, but most like a lot of relationship questions, but
most people
At
have
least,
problems with relationships. I mean, it's natural that we get a lot of relationship questions, right? Because
Right.
struggle. But no, it's nice to
Um,
have a little bit of mix this time. So keep them coming in.
and the ones that are just like purely looking for just straight up medical advice,
Right.
I just take care of those on my own
Yeah.
and just email them back, with
Yeah.
appropriate answers.
Diagnoses. Yes. Right. Thank you, doctor.
Yeah.
So it's good. So thank you all for coming this week. Super J, wonderful to see you. For the regular friends,
Always good to see you.
great seeing you as well. The love. Can
Love
you
you.
feel the love tonight?
Oh, okay. Always with the singing. You can't with the.
Tonight.
Okay, bye everybody. We're gonna go.
Da-da-da.
And he's gonna Vanguard's gonna stop singing, because the feed's gonna stop.